The crew is back. Welcome, everybody.
Go out, queen.
Yeah, the Go Out crew. We back. Okay, I can't pin it. How's everybody doing? Don't y'all start. Don't y'all start at all. We got the crew back. We are live on Facebook and we are live on Instagram. And we wanted to go on both platforms because we know we have people that continue to support us and follow our journey. So I wanted to make sure that, and there's a phone on the floor, that, you know, everybody could tune into this. But this is going to be a Q&A. So if y'all have questions for us, put it in the question box for Instagram because that's a better format. So if you are on Facebook, and the wind's probably going to knock that over again, so
yeah, you could just take it down.
Yeah. So if you are on Facebook and you want to ask us questions, I recommend that you come to Instagram because they have a great platform. And if you don't know what the question box is, on your phone in this live, there is the little, what's that called? What do you think it's called?
The little question bubble.
The question bubble. Yeah, I shouldn't say box. Oh, Divine said it was about time. Girl, I know. But like I said in the our story, that we got kids, so we had to figure this. And now Zen woke up. So we'll see how this goes with having both of the children up together. If it doesn't go well, we probably have to just do it again. But yeah, we wanted to just come on and like let you guys know that we are back together again. We did not realize that this moment was going to happen.
Right.
And we know some of y'all may not know, who Jaz and Flo is, but he's not in the camera, so they can't even see him.
Oh no, you're not. You're not in.
Oh,
IG.
You might want to get a diaper for Zen because it's going to block the live. So I will go in and get.
Well, I wasn't planning on having him on the camera like that. I was gonna carry him.
Okay, but yeah, I'll still do it just in case because you got vultures out here, the instinct and stuff. Okay, y'all. So yeah. So
got it.
Hold on. There's a lot going on in the production, y'all. Mm-hmm. But as you see, it's like we have these new additions. We have Blaze and we have Zen. Well, Zen was with us when we first left, but he was a little baby. Yeah. And so now we've come back together with 1.5 additions right here. Right. Like Jaz is pregnant again. And yeah, so I don't know how y'all want to do this. I don't know if y'all just want to ask us questions or if you want us to just share, kind of what happened and how we know each other and then how, that and how we got to where we are today.
Maybe we can start by how we came together. Okay, I think
good.
A lot of people on your platform and you guys' platform have no idea who we are.
Yeah.
These random people that are in this live with you.
Well, this is for those of you that have not been following us since 2017.
Right.
This is Jaz, and her handle is.
I had to think about it. Vibes_222_.
And then
Flo, and then Flo_222_.
And then y'all know Rainbow, but you can also give your handle too.
Wild Quetzal.
And that's Rainbow. And then there's Blaze. I always call them Blaze. I'm doing that thing our mamas do where we call everybody the name but their actual name. There's Zen. He just woke up from a nap. Yeah. And then Blaze is over here. Well, y'all can't really see him.
He'll see him eventually.
So for some of you, and any of y'all can chime in at any time.
Right.
Oh Lord.
Here, let me move you. Kids gotta. This was so planned until it wasn't.
Yeah, it was planned until it wasn't. But and Rambo's probably going to monitor the kids. You want to monitor the kids until we want you to come in. So the way it got started, this real story quick, is that we were all a part of a group. That's where we met. We're not going to mention the group's name, but for all of you that know us, we were part of a group. And it got to a point in time where we outgrew the group and we all made a consecutive decision to leave. And we decided to leave together. Right. And so then we ended up going out into Mexico, trying to get back to the States or trying to figure out what our next move was because Flo, you were a part of the group for how long?
3 years.
3 years, and I was a part of the group going on 2 years, and you had just got there.
I was fresh. I was like,
She
I
was
think I was
fresh.
there for like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, and then Rambo, he was there almost the same amount of time. Well, he pretty much was there the same amount of time as me. And we just decided it just wasn't a good fit for the direction that our life was headed, and we just left. And so we had a lot of challenges when we did leave, and because we was out here with no money, no clue. We knew that there was more to life than what we were doing.
Right.
And so y'all can comment at any time. And so
Here, look
And
at
so-
the people. Look at the people. Look, this is Blaze, y'all,
yeah.
and he's off.
Yeah. So then we did struggle a little bit because we had to get Zen a passport because he was born in Mexico, and so we went through those challenges, and then we decided once we got everything in a row that we were all going to move to. See, that's why I'm getting him a diaper. 'Cause go with daddy. Go with daddy.
Diaper time.
Go with daddy. Yeah, go with daddy. Thank you.
2 full-blown
I don't even
families.
know what I was saying. So
We had to get a birth certificate, or no, a passport.
So once we got everything situated, we had to decide what we wanted to do, and we knew we didn't want to stay in Central America, and things just kind of happened to where it all was in alignment because you and I both knew the same people in Hawaii.
Right.
And we have that on the live too, that you and I was talking about that. And so we decided to come to Hawaii. We was like, okay, we're gonna start a new life in Hawaii. We're gonna, rent some land, do this and do that, and we're gonna live happily ever after. Well, when we got to Hawaii, that was not the case.
Yeah.
At all. Like, things didn't go as planned, and then you end up finding out you were pregnant.
Yeah, I think that was one of the biggest things for us too. Like, we were in a situation where we got here, but in terms of like money and like taking care of ourselves, and then I'm thinking, okay, I'm about to have a baby. Where am I going to put the baby at? Like, and then what were we? A group of five.
We were a group of 5
with baby Zen, and it was like, okay, well, who's gonna, like, okay, so we're thinking about like woofing, like organic farming and things like that, which is like a work trade, but who gonna take these 5 people, like these 4 adults and this little baby? So it was, as much as it would have been wonderful to stay together, it just so happened that it was in our best interest that we, you guys got an opportunity, and then we found an opportunity, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
But it was really hard separating. I think
it was.
That was rough for us.
It was because at the time, people were just saying negative things, that they're not going to stay together and this and that, and we really did want to stay together, but when you're out here with no money, with nothing, and it's like you have to make decisions that you just have to make, and that was one of those things. And so we did end up separating, and then we didn't see each other for 2 years.
2 years, yeah. But we kept in good contact.
We kept in contact.
We were good about that, which is, I feel like the reason why we're still here, because we still had a lot of like intention, and we were kind of like, oh, okay, well, our friends are in Hawaii, and y'all are like, our friends are in Mexico. So we all just kept that special space in each other's hearts.
Yeah.
For our
so I guess this live is going to be our live.
It's always how it goes.
It is. Every time, like, she and I would talk to each other on the phone, they would somehow just disappear, phase out, and then it's just you and me.
We got it. We got enough talk for days. But so that's how we,
So when since it's just you and me, you and I can have a conversation. So what was you going through, like, after you left, right?
Right.
The group, and you was with Flo. Because you had Flo in the group, like, and then you found out you was pregnant. Like, what did you learn through that whole process about yourself, about, just about life? Because I'm sure life completely changed for you.
Yeah.
Before you went to the group and then after leaving the group.
Yeah. So, like, what did I learn after I left?
Yeah, like, just, like, things just happened.
Flo and I didn't know each other. Yeah. Like, we had no space at the time to really focus on our relationship.
Yeah.
alone, you know, like when you meet somebody, you're able to spend a long time together.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what do you want to do with your future? Well, what do you want to do with your future? You know,
Yeah.
well, let me take you to this nice place and like figure you out completely. And we didn't have that, right? So
yeah, because we
you just scared me.
right here, don't you?
I do. Before you forget.
Well, because reason why I wanted to like let you guys know, because when she came into the group, we all were sleeping in the same room together sometimes. And so, you know, and like sometimes we have alone time in our tent.
Yeah.
But then we was around like a good 15 people.
All
and
the
then when we
time.
left to come to Hawaii, we were sleeping in a room, all four of us and the baby.
Mm-hmm.
So then when you and Flo got together, it was just like, oh, y'all were dating but
What do
pregnant
we do?
and in a
Right.
long-term relationship all at the same
I
time.
say that it's like that movie Knocked Up. Like we literally got to know each other.
Oh wow, I didn't realize
Pregnant.
that.
So he's
Yeah.
like having to like find his comfortability with me as this pregnant woman, and I'm trying to find my comfortability with him as my husband, but I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
It was just a very unique, well, I wouldn't call it unique because I think it's kind of common these days.
You think it's common to meet somebody in a group and then y'all get
Okay, maybe not like that. And they travel all around, run away. But no, but
Yeah.
like to have a baby with somebody that you barely know.
yeah.
And that part of it for me was like, oh my goodness. And it was very important that, you know what, maybe that's why we had to go our separate ways, because we really had to get to know each other separately in our relationships to build up our own kind of purpose in our separate relationships.
That's true.
And now we're back together and this is so functional, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
You know, because we know how to handle each other and we know what each other needs in our separate units. But when we first left, I was a lot of y'all don't know, like Flo and I, it was my fault. I'm not even gonna blame it all on hormones, but I was like, this isn't gonna work. Like I was trying to like go back to the States, like leave the group. Like this was new to me. Y'all had spent years together, but I was kind of like in and out, like trying to figure it out. And I'm so thankful that I didn't, because this is a gift to my life completely. I don't know what I would, like, what am I going to do with this baby without Flo? Like, he is such a vital part. He is this, right? We did this together, but it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And how did you feel?
I
What
feel
was it
like-
for you? Getting to know Rambo or Quetz after
Kits.
Quetz.
I feel like it was the same story. You know what I mean? It was the same story, to where we only came together because we shared a similar belief together when we were a part of the group that we were in. And even when we were together in the group, him and I, we didn't spend that much time together because he was busy. Like,
he was always cooking. He was always editing.
we were busy, so we didn't have that dating phase. So when we came out here, you know, I was a new mother. He was a new father. I was, you know, and my mind was warped. Like, because when I was a part of that situation, it was like I completely had given my mind to the situation. I had given my all to the situation. So pulling away from that and coming back into reality, it was like, who in the hell, what this baby, this man that I don't even really know. Oh my gosh. Like, it was like all of that coming at once. And I wasn't taking into consideration sometimes that Rambo was also dealing with what he was dealing with, because he wasn't like in a relationship before he left carbon. I don't want to say it.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, he had his own stuff that he was dealing with. And the reason why, y'all, I don't want to say the name, because I don't want to put that energy out. I just don't want that. But it's still my story. It's still something I experienced. And if any of y'all are nosy enough, you go on my page, you'll find, you know, who and what we are talking about. I just don't want to put that.
We don't promote
out.
what we no longer agree with.
But it's definitely something I'm open to talking about. I just, you know, I'm doing it for my own personal story and what I went through when I experienced, and
a lot of people don't know,
and leave it like that.
Yeah.
So that's what that whole like
right,
you know. So him and I definitely had a lot of growing up to do, a maturity to do, this commitment, whether or not we wanted to commit to something that we were in, and just rediscovering ourselves and being accountable to who we were and what we were building together. Right. And so I definitely believe that we had to separate from each other so that we could figure that out, have space to do that. Because you imagine me and Rambo just sitting there looking at you and Flo going through y'all's mess and, you know, and vice versa. No, y'all needed y'all space, your privacy, to do whatever it was that y'all needed to do to come back into this space that you guys are in. Right. And so things just aligned with us to come back, because this one over here, she was anti-Hawaii. She's like, I don't want to come back. No. And it was like, okay,
I don't want to live in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And it was like this perfect option, but I don't even know what I had going on at that point. I was just
Mexico. You was still into Mexico.
But I was ready to leave Mexico too. I think I was just pregnant. Whenever I get pregnant, I'd be ready to go. Because the last time I got pregnant, when we were in Hawaii, I was like, no. And we just went back. Yeah. You know? So I think I was trying to find what was comfortable for me. And now it's like, okay, I'm my own comfortability. And I had to sit in that and breathe that no matter where you go.
And Rambo and I had something to offer you guys to come here. Like, we, you know, because when we were out here on them streets, we didn't have nothing, just donations. Yeah. So it was like, now we're in a quite better position than we were before, to where we have something to offer each other. It's more stable. Right. We're more stable, and we're more clear about what we don't want, but definitely sure about what we do want, you know. And so I think that is what makes this union healthy. And we're going to continue to allow things to unfold the way they're supposed to, because that's what we did in the beginning. We just allowed it to unfold. We didn't attach ourselves to each other or detach. We just we was going to allow things to unfold, and that's what we're doing now. But I'm just so thankful that you guys are here. Like, I did not realize how much I missed having my sister friend and
we just
having people that we're familiar with, family. You know, because it's always just been me and Rambo and Zen these past 2 years. So, like, I'm very, very thankful. So, yeah.
I'm in the same boat. This is definitely so nourishing for our family as well, because we're not picky. We're just
picky.
We're purposeful about our friends. But I also think it's really important. It's really important for you all to see that, know our story, right? And have seen all of the unfolding of our path, that we didn't stay in that same space that we left in, right? Like, look at us now. Like, y'all have businesses and we're all abundant. Oh my God, how did it feel like when y'all picked us up from the airport and we're just sitting here in our abundance? Like, we're gonna go eat here, and then we're gonna go buy this, and we're gonna go do that. And there's just so much to be thankful for in separating, because now we were able to focus our minds on what we want our life to look like. Yeah. And by doing that in a successful way, we can come together and just have everything that we want.
Exactly.
And build upon that and show people it doesn't have to look like, we didn't have to disappear. We didn't have to disappear and figure it out, but we could actually work our things out and figure out what we wanted to do in our relationships and how we wanted to look, and say that you can do anything you want to do.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That's what we showed, because we definitely had a lot of people that were naysayers. That was just like, they're not going to last. No, you know, they're going to break up. They don't even really love each other. And it's like, okay, that might be true.
In our relationships, right?
Yeah, in our relationships. So I said, okay, that might be true, but now what? Because Rambo was telling me something about their statistics that Black women, especially, would rather be a single mom than be married to a dude and be committed to him. And I just felt like, no, we're going to make this work, because you and I committed to having this kid, so we better commit to each other.
We committed to that feel-good moment.
Yeah, okay.
I was all in that moment.
You committed to them oohs and ahs. So you better commit to what comes after that. Okay?
Right.
I'm just saying.
That's how it is.
And I'm very thankful and honored that I do have a partner in life, husband, homie, whatever, in my life that have stuck by my side, and I stuck by his side. And and then he's in there right now, you know, with Zen, so that we could be on this live. And I just want to say thank you.
Thank you. Do we need a little lens on there?
I mean, it's not a big deal if it's on there or not, unless you,
I wanted to see the number.
Oh, okay. the same?
It is.
Okay. So let's start with the question. So now y'all can ask us questions. You can ask us anything. Make sure it is respectable. So it says, Empress Marie said, what advice would you give someone that's trying to move to a tropical area? You can go first if you like.
I can go first?
Mm-hmm.
What advice? Well, I can only speak from my perspective, right? And what I've experienced in doing so. One of the biggest things that I've learned is you cannot take a vacation and learn where you want to be. Like you know how people take a vacation for like a week? Yeah. And they're like, I want to move here. Like, it takes so much more than that because you have to go to the stores and you have to be around the people. You have to experience the energy of the area. Like, you really don't know until you spend some time wherever you want to be. Mm-hmm. Now, I think it takes a lot of just knowing what you yourself want in an area. Yeah. That'll narrow down your search a lot. Like, for Flo and I, we're interested in land. So we wanted to be somewhere where land was available. We love a tropical environment. I love the thought of growing food and everything that I want to eat all year round without a greenhouse. Yeah. But I also like a little bit of the States, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like to go to a good restaurant, or I like to be able to connect with other families and not be like so far out to where we can't get around nobody, or we gotta drive an hour to get to people. So I mean, there's just a lot of experience at play. You have to be patient with yourself and patient with your universe telling you, no, this probably isn't it for you, and you not understanding like what is going on. I thought Mexico was it. It wasn't, right? And just connecting with yourself or connecting with your partner and being in alignment with what you guys know you want together, and just be focused on that. And I think there's an extreme amount of clarity that you'll get from just knowing that life will kind of weed itself out for you, and before you know it, you're gonna be sitting in Hawaii, but you knew you didn't want to come to Hawaii, but Hawaii was for you, by your best girl, laughing at 9 o'clock at night, because we're parents, so we go to sleep early, so it's not gonna be too much past
that's
that.
a little late for me.
Right. At 7:50 something, Rambo came in and was like, all right, it's time to start getting ready for nighttime. I was like, it's 7 something. I know. But we've turned into those parents.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. We definitely have to. But being here, it makes you just want to go to bed early, because
I know, and wake up at like 6. Because I'll be up at 6. It's wild.
Yeah. So before I answer this question or give my 2 cents, make sure you're putting your questions in the question bubble, okay? Because we're not going to scroll back up to find the question. So they happily made a format for Instagram to put your question in the question bubble. Now, my answer to this question is, what advice would you give someone that's trying to move to the tropics? First and foremost, know your why. Understand why you want to move to the tropics, because you might be thinking that the tropics is the answer to your problems, but you know the famous saying, wherever you go, there you are. So whatever you're dealing with, where you stand, 9 times out of 10, you're going to deal with that if you come to the tropics. And so when you move and come to another place, a lot of times you put expectations on what you think that place would be, and then you're disappointed, and then you're blaming it on the tropics, and then you're going back to the States, and it's really not that serious. It's really about, what do you want? Like, what life do you want? What are you willing to give up? And what do you hope to gain? And for myself, this is the reason why I'm still in the tropics, because I realized this is a place for me that is conducive to my health, to my well-being. Everybody goes to the tropics for vacation because why? Because it's the tropics. Right. And the fruit isn't abundant. It's directly from its source, more so than being in the States and getting fruit from Mexico or Holland or something like that. But it's a beautiful environment to raise my child and to just be a better person and just thrive. So that is the reason why I continue to stay in the tropics. I could easily go back to the mainland, but I just think that for my well-being, the tropics is what's best for me. I don't want to be in the cold climate, so I do what I got to do to stay there. So you have to ask yourself, am I willing to do what I got to do to get what I want? But at the same time, what problem do I see where I stand that I might take with me if I go to the tropics. Work on that first, and then, you know, move forward.
Right, because it will not disappear.
Yeah, exactly. I probably got to put... Oh, he probably has the battery. The Facebook might die because the battery is low, so... okay, so make sure you put your J Rastafari, put your question about the locks in the question bubble. Okay. Okay, I am Joseph said, are you back to live in Hawaii?
You never left.
I'm assuming they're talking about.
Yeah, so we are. I don't see myself leaving. I haven't found, like, we've done a bit of traveling after we left and after we had the baby and everything like that, and I got here and I'm like, oh my God, I'm never leaving. I say it every day. Every time we get in the car, I be in everybody's ear, I'm never leaving. There's just this overwhelming amount of home and security and creation that is just loud here that I feel, and I nowhere else has spoken to me like that. Like, I know it sounds like, oh, Hawaii, it's easy to feel like that, but I've been some places, right? And when you feel it, you know. So we feel it, both of us, and we ain't going nowhere.
And that's the reason why, Vibes, we did not pressure you guys into coming here, because we listened to what y'all were saying you were wanting and what you wasn't getting in Mexico. We knew it was this place, but I just think it feels better when you make that choice for yourself.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. And that's what we did. We was like, okay,
right. And you was trying to tell me about my old pregnant tail was like, I don't know. We went and looked at Florida. Like, we went to these different places, and like she said, you have to just experience it for yourself. So I was also in a time where it was just like, oh my God, the flight, and like, how am I going to do that? And that's going to be so much. So I'm glad I waited until this part of pregnancy to do that, but all the more the gift, because now, like, I'm gonna pop out another baby, and the baby has this family. We all having a baby. We all got the contract to the baby. I didn't get pregnant until we wanted to go to Hawaii.
And you was there for me when you was right there at the tutor, okay? And saw Zen come right on out. So I'm excited to be here for the new baby, so I can be there like you was there for me.
You gotta play me Usher, because I played you Usher.
Oh, what's your song that you like?
I don't know, probably some Ratchet.
Okay. Well,
so I can take my
Ratchetivity it is. Hey, Rambo, if you are listening to the video, can you bring the battery pack? Your phone is about to die on Facebook. So, okay.
More questions. Thank you guys for asking questions. Yeah, we really enjoy them.
Yeah. And I want to say this. Thank you, and I'm honored for you guys to take your time to come and be in our live and listen to us share our stories, because you don't have to. There's so many people out here on social media talking about something, and you chose to give your energy to us. We are in gratitude.
You could be on TikTok right now, so thank you.
Okay. Oh, that's a good question.
So you guys went through a lot. What kept you motivated and staying focused? That is a big question.
Well, for me, it's the why that I have established for myself. It's that I want freedom. I'm a Sagittarius. Okay, I'm a Sagittarius, Leo moon, Virgo rising. I'm all about my freedom, and I realized to have true freedom, you must have focus. You must stay motivated. You must have discipline, because I don't want to go back to the life that I had. I don't want to go back to the cubicle that I was in. I just don't. And so that's what made me continue on. And then I have a child. So now that I have a child, he's looking at me as what he's supposed to at least attribute to as he becomes an adult. Now, he's going to be himself, but as parents, we are the root of our children. So he's definitely the reason why I stay motivated and focused to not giving up, because I promise you, there's been days where I'm like, you know what, this is a no for me. But then I think back, are you going to allow this one moment to dictate the rest of your life, because it will affect it in some way. And so I always come back to my heart and to what I know to be true, because our emotions can sometimes have us thinking about things that aren't true. We're just basing on our perspective of it. And so I just think about love and freedom and being able to be my authentic self. And in the life that I've created, I'm able to do that.
Yeah. And you were just saying in the car, like, the other day, like, we have a beautiful life. Like, it's really beautiful. It has ease, and it has enjoyment, and it's not rushed. And it's and I learned creativity from you and Rambo. Like, you guys, I get why you're so creative here, because there's just so much space for you to just free flow in who you are, and nobody's telling you what to do or how to be or when to be there. Yeah. And you really just become who you are, right? Yeah. Which, like, you know, the question of, like, moving to the tropics, like, the advice, like, you will become who you are. Oh, I guess I can answer my half of it. What kept me motivated? Well, when we left the group, of course, Flo and I were in our relationship, and we were all together as a new section of group. There are funny names to that section, but I'm not going to bring them up. Yeah, go ahead. And I really just had to sit and look at who I was. And it was interesting because I didn't like that person. I was very aggressive, and I was very negative, and my mindset was not a positive one. It was one that always was geared towards conflict and being annoyed. And the person that I was hard to deal with. I was very much negative Nicole, okay? And it took me getting pregnant, because I realized it was divine timing, and now we got pregnant together, to slow down as this pregnant woman and really have to say, okay, this is the direction that you're heading in emotionally. What are you going to do about it? Because this is not cute. At this point, your child's probably going to have issues with you because you're hard to deal with. Your husband don't want to spend no time with you because you are nagging like crazy. And Flo actually sat me down and was like, you're not going to talk to me like this. He did. I don't know if you know. Did I tell you that?
Yeah, you told me that.
Y'all, he sat me down when we were still in Hawaii at the time. And he was like, this is not okay. It's no reason for you to act like this. If you need something, talk like a normal person. I was in such a momentum of negativity that I was just, y'all was around me. I was a lot. Yeah. I was a lot.
Well, you know me, I take it to your moon in Aries. So.
And she's still a lot. She just knows how to deal with herself better, right?
In the first house.
Right. So that's a lot of Aries. And it's a lot of fire. I'm very fiery. But I had to sit with myself, right? Because we weren't this big group anymore. I couldn't hide amongst the people. I couldn't hide in the mission that I thought I was supposed to be a part of anymore. That wasn't for me. Yeah. And I had to become the person that I wanted to be. And I think that that's what kept me motivated, was to continue to increase upon being this better person. I wanted to be a better person for myself, for my own future, for my husband, for my child, for the friends that I don't have now but I may have in the future. Yeah. And I feel like that's brought me here, because if I was in the same thing, then shoot, I would have been in Virginia somewhere alone. Okay, alone. Flo would have been like, this is my baby. You know? Like it, and that wouldn't have served me at all. So I had to be a better person. I had to be a better person. I read a question. I know. I had to be a better question.
Somebody said Aries moon, she is a lot.
I came into this world a lot, and I shall leave the same way. But I had to learn how to tame the flames.
Okay, well, this one. That's for you.
I'm having an unassisted birth soon. You have decided. Have you decided what you're gonna do? She's gonna catch my baby. So basically, it's interesting because I'm almost 20. I'm actually 23 weeks pregnant today. Either today or tomorrow. I'm bad at keeping up. But, and I'm having an interesting time finding a midwife. Because everybody wants to have COVID babies in December. Mm-hmm. I told her everybody was banging it out because we didn't have nothing else to do. And here we are 9 months later with babies. We were the same thing. So it's been interesting. I've called like 3 or 4 different midwives, and I finally think that I found one. However, I just decided to go with the flow. You know, like
literally
go with the right. That's funny, baby. He's the one who's supposed to catch the baby. But I've been through it before in a way where I'm comfortable. I've seen it before in a way where I'm comfortable. And I know that we've done this forever. We've done this forever, far before the hospitals and, you know, the hired midwives. There was just someone who had some knowledge, who knew how to handle you, right? So I feel that I'm a little more comfortable with having the midwife there. Okay. Just because of what I went through with Blaze. He was all wrapped up in the cord. He was like this, right? I really appreciated what you said yesterday, in that it would be nice for the midwife to teach Flo more, like be more hands-on this time, because I'm emotional. Oh, my baby! And he's like tearing up, but like to just be there and be present, because it's not this like new wild experience. But just know your power. You know what I'm saying? Whatever makes you comfortable, do that. I think we both learned in being pregnant, it will go how it's supposed to, not always how you want it to. So just be prepared that these babies come in however they want, and we're just supposed to be here to guide them, and you know, it's like a dance, so just dance with them and let them and your body take the lead. So
I agree.
You got it.
What would you say would be a logical amount of funds to be stable enough to live in the tropics? There is not a logical amount. You have to be stable.
Right.
That is what it's about. You have to be stable. You have to be ready. You have to be open. And you have to be a person that has something to offer someone. Because that's what I find from a lot of people, that they want to come to the tropics, but they more so want to take rather than give. Like, and especially if you come to Hawaii, it is about what you are willing to give, because the Aina will blesseth and taketh away. Like, if you come here on your own merit and your own egotistical desires, you're not going to make it here in Hawaii, and that's why Hawaii is very expensive. But if you can make it work, and if you can be of service to others and not worry about the mundane things like money, how I'm gonna pay my bills, how I'm gonna have this, how I'm gonna eat, I promise you, you will be taken care of. There's a reason why Hawaii is expensive AF, because it's paradise here, and you don't want, and the reason why it's paradise because everybody can't come here. They have the price at a certain level. Now, if you can make it work, you did well. But if you can't make it work here, you didn't try hard enough.
Right.
So there is no logical amount. You just have to. I do want to say the cliche thing is that you just have to trust and know. But it comes down to your why, because when you know why you're doing something, you're going to have the energy, the tenacity, the power to do whatever it takes. So that's what you need to know. What amount of energy do you have to have the life that you want? Ooh, I need to quote that.
That was good. That was good. That's a whole separate lie.
Yes. What about it? Oh, I need to write that down.
What energy is behind your why?
Somebody go to my DM and send
One
me
of
that.
the husbands.
Stay over there playing with your kids.
Oh.
What energy? What amount of energy do you have to get what you want? Or something I said. Yeah.
If you appreciate that, send that back to her.
Okay.
Say it back.
Okay. Okay, this is a good one.
What elements of said group... Wait. Elements of... It's automatically done. What elements of group or communal living do you most and least enjoy?
You can go first.
Well, I most enjoy... Because I went live about this a few days ago.
Yeah.
I most enjoy that everybody has somebody. Like, our specific setup, it's perfect because we're the two women, right? And then we have our two husbands that they're very close, and they're, you know, everything that they do, they genuinely love being around each other. We genuinely love being around each other. And then our boys always have somebody to play with, right? And they're only a year apart. Yeah. So it just works. Like, for us, our communal setup was almost like painted perfectly because everybody has somebody, and I just really like when we all come together because it's just very balanced. Now, I don't think this baby will throw off the balance. However, I hope it's a girl because then we'll have another girl. Yeah. So what do I least enjoy? That's a good question. I don't, and this is going to be like, oh, she not telling the truth. But, like, I don't think I least enjoy anything, I think that we've had a lot of clarity in coming together again, and we just have different family makeups. I mean, we're a lot alike, right? We clearly aligned, but like, even with like, okay, so lately our thing has been parenting styles. When we first got here, we parented a little differently. And we've been able to teach each other things with our children that wasn't something that I least enjoyed, but initially it was new. It was like, okay, because we didn't have anybody, like, Blaze didn't really have long-term play partners. So that was very much supposed to happen for us to morph together to be more communal, but it was something that we had to go through. And it's like our boys were learning how to play together and be in each other's space, right? They never met before, but us as these 4 parents had to learn how to mind each other's emotions and way of parenting, because we're friends, right? So you can't just be like, all right, fuck it or forget it.
Sometimes friends do.
Yeah, true. Sometimes friends do. But it was funny because even in our coming together and talking about it, I was like, guys, you have to remember, like, I'm the one who's hot-headed and tempered. I'm the one this time, for some reason, I was like, I'm glad that we're coming together and we're talking about it. I think I needed it. We're talking about it because it's important, because I really see us staying together as a unit just because everything flows so well. So there's always going to be, I mean, there's going to be other things, right? There's always going to be something that just life brings up clarity amongst the 4 of us so we can move more in alignment with each other and be more balanced as our little community.
Yeah.
How about
I
you?
mean, I kind of, well, no, not kind of. I feel like I have the same answer as you as far as, like, the part I love about being in a community is, the thing I especially like being in a community is when everybody has their place. Everybody is accounting for something because it makes the group function well. Yeah. And I've always liked that. Even when we were in the group in Central America, like, I love that because everybody knew their place, you know? And so I like when people just know, like, they're considerate. I like that we're considerate of each other. We're helping each other. We really like each other. I like that there's somebody, like, right now, like we said, the dudes are, I said the dudes, the guys, they are with the children, because if y'all weren't here, I probably would be doing this by myself, or a live. Well, I usually do my lives by myself, actually. And me and Rambo, we've tried to do lives with Zen, and it doesn't go well all the time. But he usually has to walk off the camera. So I like that, you know, I have someone here that I can engage with on camera and just do other things. And to second what you said, yeah, that has been a challenge, because even before y'all came here, there was a family that had a little girl, and it sounds great in theory to have other children with your children. It's one thing y'all playing, but it's another thing if y'all living together, and when we're so close in parameter with our houses, it's like as soon as these kids go outside, they immediately want to come to each other's house. Children have no boundaries. They want what they want. And so that has been a challenge, not just with you guys, but just with the other family that was here, that I have to teach him more boundaries than I would like to, and that everybody has their own way of parenting. Is really more so about having kids, because when I was a part of that other group, we didn't have kids. But I knew when I had my kid, I was like, oh hell no, I'm leaving. I was like, because I already know how y'all are, and I know how I am, and I know how I want to raise my child, and it is what it is. But that still doesn't go away just because I'm not in that situation. That's something that's within me that I have to handle, you know. So, and that's how I look at the situation. No matter what you ran away from that group or cult or whatever you want to call it, you want to deal with that on your own anyways. And that's what I learned. But I definitely love our relationship to where we can communicate, and it can be a healthy disagreement. You know, because it's okay to disagree. It's okay to disagree. But it's just like, we are learning how to disagree, like, healthy and more conducive and solution oriented. So that's the one. So I don't mind, like, there's really nothing, like, I just like, it's just all about being solution oriented? Can you be solution oriented with other people? And if you can be with anyone. But if you're not solution oriented and it's all about you and you are the victim, then communal living is not for you.
Right. It takes an openness to be communal.
Okay. So Jay said, do you and Rambo want any more kids, or are you guys one and done? Well, I was actually pregnant this year. Me and her found out we was pregnant at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, we literally found out at the same time, but then I had a miscarriage on Mother's Day. So that's what happened with that. But since that happened, I don't know if I want another child. And then he continues to have playmates, and I'm okay with that. And now that Jazz is here and I'm about to have a baby, that will allow me to be around a baby. But I'm not necessarily one of those women that, I gotta have kids. Like, Zen came because there was a purpose for Zen. I thought we were repopulating the earth. Like, really. I know that's funny.
Me too.
I thought that was we were populating the earth for the kingdom. And that's the reason why I was like,
everybody
okay,
had 20 babies.
I'm going to open myself to have a kid because it was for the purpose to populate, you know what I'm saying? So that's really really why I opened myself to have a child, because it was a purpose for that. But I never was one of those women that were like, I want to have kids. I want to be a mom. Like, I never was like that. And so it just happened that way. And so Rambo, he would love to have more kids. Because he came from a household of 4 brothers. So, but since having Zen, I think maybe he's just like, because one kid is a lot. It really is. But now that we have the community, that's not something that I have to necessarily feel like, I have, because Jazz has opened herself to be the mother of multiple children, and I can just be, a part of that with her.
This is your baby.
You know what I mean?
No, this is your baby.
Stop it.
Here.
But
that's a benefit of communal living too,
Yeah.
And some things that people don't think about, right? But also, like, being pregnant is a lot.
It's a lot.
Okay? Like, it's a y'all know. If you know, you know. So that in itself is just a lot easier.
Yeah.
Since I've been here and with everybody being around.
Yeah.
Like, we could just breathe. We just have moments to just breathe.
I forget that you're pregnant sometimes. I really do, because you're not that big. I know you have your own opinion about that, but you're not. I have the time. I don't look at you like you're pregnant, and I have to be conscious of that, because I want to treat you accordingly, because I understand how it feels to be pregnant. Like, she's so cute, y'all. Pregnant. She's a cute pregnant. And
but I'm a moody pregnant.
I haven't seen that.
I've worked on my Aries.
Day you will send your feelings, but that is,
when I came over?
Yeah.
But you gave me a good hug.
Yeah, but you was just like, I just need a hug. And nobody want to hug me. And I was like, okay, I'll hug you. And
I turned into a baby.
It was just that simple. It wasn't like last time where you was just like, I need chicken and I need chicken now.
No, I don't want healthy chicken.
It cannot healthy chicken. It has to be chicken wings with seasonings, the 13 spices. And if it's not that, I do not want it.
I got a family of 3 raw vegans.
At that time, like, we were just like starting.
And then Asia and Adonis were raw vegan, and they all had to drive me to go.
Yeah, so
that was the best chicken I ever
I'm prepared for you. Like, yeah, I don't look at it like that, because I'm kind of like team too much sometimes. So I have a Leo moon, so and then depending on what chart system, it's also the first house, like first 12th house. Yeah. So I get it, but I also, when I was pregnant, I was very dramatic too. Like, even when I was only pregnant that small part.
No, you weren't.
Well, I wasn't pregnant
you
when I
held
was
it
in
together.
Well, because if I didn't, I was going to get on the chopping block and get humiliated when I was in the group.
You're right.
But when I was on my own, Like, don't talk to me, don't look at me, please leave me alone, because I was so...
I never saw that part of you.
I was so nauseous. When I was pregnant in Central America, no, I bet not show no sign of weakness.
I was like, this is the strongest person I know. Like, what in the world? And you didn't seem pregnant at that time, too, because you couldn't just be a pregnant woman.
And I didn't look pregnant. I was like 100 pounds.
Hi, Mama Tammy.
If y'all have any questions, put them in the question bubble, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Oh, let's acknowledge.
Hi,
Facebook. Hey, Tanya. Hey, Dave. That's my peoples. How y'all doing? We are in Instagram talking because they are asking us questions. So if you want to ask us questions, come over to Facebook because they have this great platform.
No, to Instagram.
Come over to Instagram because they have a great platform to where you can put your question in and we don't have to scroll up and because nobody got time for that.
Crazy. That is crazy.
What's up, Earthman? Okay. So, I'll answer it.
Do you all want a sister wife? Is that directed for both of us or just one of us?
I think it just asks some questions.
Do you all? I guess that's all of us. Well,
hold on for a second. Yeah. Janae, put your question in the question box so we won't forget it.
Oh, Somebody said vibes. I think. Oh, I know who you are.
Girl, I did block you.
Let me tell you. I wanted to get that energy out. You're no longer apart, so I'm gonna work on that.
Who is
that?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Okay. Oh, it's somebody I would know.
Yeah, but we'll talk about
it.
Hey, girl.
Stop it.
Yeah. So, and thank you for bringing that up and letting me know because I do have people blocked from a past life that don't need to be. So I appreciate you for kindly being like, "Hey, girl, stop it." But in the question of polygamy, I answered that. Oh, that. So I answered it in a live that I did a little bit ago. But of course, this is your platform, so here we go.
Yes.
I don't need it. I see benefit in it. I do see benefit in it. If Flo and I went to the end of our days together when we're old and crusty and walking around our farm, maybe not crusty because we don't want to be crusty, but when we're older and wiser and walking around our farm, and that never happened. It never happened. We're not looking for another person to join our relationship. Yeah. We're open to the possibility of having a relationship like that if that person was perfectly placed in front of us in a beneficial manner.
Yeah.
I think it's just an openness, like saying I'm open to get a new job, but my mind isn't steady focused on it, and neither is his, to where we've had tons of conversations, weeded out what's our real intention and why we really want it to happen.
Yeah.
And we would even have to be in a certain place in our lives together to welcome a whole another beautiful woman into our relationship and then work even harder. Right now, we're baby making. And baby making may not be over, even though I don't want to think about that past this one right now. However, that's just where our mind is right now. So I think the colorful, glittery answer is just if it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, well, there's plenty of things to work on. It's plenty of time to work on self with the one reflection that I've chosen to have, relationship wise. So that's probably a bad word.
No, you're trying to be funny. Okay. So, Jazzy, put your question in the question box, please. Thank you. Okay, so as far as with me,
turn me up.
excuse me?
Yeah.
As far as with me, that is not something on my to-do list. Now, the reason why people ask me and Jazz that whether or not we want a sister wife, because in the group, polygamy was the thing.
It was the thing, the mission.
It literally was the mission. So when I came into that mission, it was because the whole point was, it's in a man's nature to want to be with multiple women, and we are repopulating the earth with the meek. Okay, so that was the reason why I promoted polygamy, because it was a reason, it was a purpose. If you could give me a legitimate reason of why I need to be doing something, then I'll do it. And so at that time in my life, that's where I was at, to where I really thought the world was ending, and the only way we could like not die is to be a part of this group and, you know, have sex and have babies, and and they'll be a part of that frequency.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but I just started to see things differently. Now, Rambo, he is into polygamy, but at the same time, he's very logical and practical. What up, Asia? Hey.
Hi.
So my thing is, as I told Rambo, make it make sense. If you can make it make sense, if you can bring on another woman, take care of her, we have a house, we have somewhere to have her, because right now we live in a studio cabin, we barely can fit in that. Okay, oh, all right, and if we meet someone that it fits, if it just comes to alignment, that's cool. But, and I understand that people say that we're all polygamists and that men are naturally polygamists. No, you're not. Okay, it might be in a man's nature to be attracted to other women and want to have sex with other women, but just say that. Just say, I want to have sex with another woman. All right. But to say that we need to be polygamous is a form of civilization. All these titles, monogamy, polygamous, polyamorous, that is a form of civilization. To really get back to the nature of who you are, just be who you are. But to force someone to do something, and especially when most men don't even know how to be polygamous. They don't even understand what polygamy is.
Or understand how to bear the emotions and the needs of one woman.
It's not about your dick, homie. Okay, you might want to have sex with a whole bunch of women. Just do that. Go have sex with a whole bunch of women. But there's a responsibility
if you're horny,
that
just say
men have not been equipped to take on multiple women. And so Rambo realized that, and so if that's something he wants, he know he has to do the work to get there, to where you're bringing another woman into our home. But just to say, because you have a desire, no, that ain't good enough. I have a desire to do a lot of things, but it does not mean that I'm equipped to do that.
Right.
And so that's just how I look at polygamy. Like,
and it takes so much harmony.
Yeah.
Once you're there, like, say you're at the point where you're like, okay, this other woman is gonna come into a relationship, we're ready. Yeah. There is so much emotional work, because it's like 3 children trying to figure out their security in a new environment. Yeah. And that is not always easy. So you're agreeing. I remember Iyanla said it best one time. Being in a relationship is agreeing you love. What she said? So you're focused. She was like, being in a relationship is an agreement to focus on who you are while another person is staring you down. And likewise, like with the other person. So, you know, you really have to or work on yourself while the other person is staring you down. So you really have to be just open to being vulnerable in a way where everybody ain't ready for. And this is not for everybody. Like I'm saying, like, don't sit here and say, okay, well, one of them wants polygamy and one of them doesn't. We just don't know. Like, Flo and I personally, we're just not there.
To me, I don't find it necessary. But like I said, if you could give me a reason, if the reason's good enough, okay. But
that's open of you.
But I was just saying that we can't continue to do this dialogue. It's in a man's nature to want to have sex with women. Having sex with women and being in a relationship with them is 2 different things. You just desire more than one woman. It's funny because usually it just lets you go on and on, but it's saying that it's over. So usually it's like, you know what, y'all, let's come back because the live is about to end.
Well, let's see if we can remember some of these questions, or maybe should they re-ask them?
Yeah, just come back if you want to continue to ask more questions. The live is actually about to end. Usually the live will just let you go on, but it's about to end. Come back and ask, this the question. But before I go, because we can end the conversation with polygamy. My whole point is we need to end the dialogue that it's in a man's nature to want to have sex with many women, so therefore you're polygamous. No, polygamy, monogamy is all form of civilization. Be who you are, honor who you are. Right. And I tell Rambo, if you desire to be with another woman, say that. If you appreciate what another woman looks like, say that. I don't want to deny your masculinity. Yeah. But at the same time, you know what you are equipped to do and what you're not equipped to do. So don't just say you want to be polygamous because it's cool and that's the trend. Really know as a man what you're willing to take on. And if you're willing to take on another woman, then get yourself prepared to do that, and we'll see what happens.
That's like a woman saying, well, I want to have a swingers lifestyle because I'm trying to get some. It's the same thing. It's like, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you wanted to.
So, on Facebook, we're still here, but Instagram, come back, okay? Come back and ask your questions.